everyone. Happy Tuesday. I am so pumped today. We are going to talk to one of my business partners in California, the great Mike Bjorkman. Mike, how you doing?
Good morning or good afternoon on the East Coast.
That's right.
Everybody
So,
doing good over there?
Mike, it's awesome. The weather's great. We're allowed to show homes now. We were just our next level is green, so we can show homes and continue business in a very safe manner. How about California?
Well, we were wide open until like today. They're shutting down our beaches for 4th of July, but whatever.
Oh my
It's all
gosh.
good. I try to pay as little attention to all that crap as possible.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to focus today on a couple of different elements, one being the cash flow quadrant. But before I do, I want to back up a little bit and tell people on the East Coast about Mike Bjorkman.
All
So,
right.
for those that don't know,
Hit
Mike,
record on this, Stace.
what? Oh, we're live on Facebook.
I know, hit record though, anyways.
Okay, so Sarah, let's record this. So Mike Bjorkman hails from California, right outside of LA, and he started in the business at the tender age of 18 years old. He was with Remax for, geez, what, 17, 18 years?
19 years.
19 years, then went over to KW. It was a better model. It worked for him and his business. Then did HomeSmart for a little bit, and then was blown away by EXP's model. So, Mike, you've been in this game for a long time. It's obviously not your first rodeo. What has been your experience from then till now, almost 2 years later with EXP?
Well, when we jumped over that pretty quick, it was a pretty dramatic change, right? From Remax to KW. The reason I changed was pretty much for fees. I was able to go from 50,000 a year to, or excuse me, 100,000 a year in fees at Remax to 50,000. And then the reason I left KW wasn't because of fees. It was more because of a next natural progression for a top producing real estate agent that likes to coach and train. And it's just one of those things where you go, okay, well, I need to start a brokerage now. And starting a brokerage is a completely different level of real estate, right? So I grew that to 4 offices and 300 agents. So it's a whole complete different set of nightmares that I created for myself as far as liability, as
Right.
far as not being able to sell as much anymore, trying to grow a team, try to spend time with people that deserved it. It was just a complete nightmare. And then I saw the EXP model and said, oh my gosh, I knew for a fact I would be out of business in the next 3 to 5 years. And then, so I sold that company. I've been at EXP for almost 2 years now. It gets better every day. And I just absolutely love the life that I was able to create and create for so many others too. So it's been pretty amazing.
So East Coast peeps, I do want to let you know that Mike has been to KW, has their reunion and their family. I forget what you call it, but you were on that stage a couple times.
Yeah, family reunion and mega camp I was able to speak at. I was blessed enough to help be on the committee that wrote a lot of their education, like Bold and Ignite. So I was very involved. I'm a company guy. Once I fall in love with a company, I'm super committed and I'm in. There's nothing that can change that. So, if I do end up at a spot where I'm extremely happy and I know that's what's going on to be the future of real estate, that's where I'm at. So I never planned on leaving Remax, and then something better came along. I never planned on leaving KW, and then I had to create something better because they weren't doing it for me or with me. So, and then something better came along too after I had my brokerage. So, a lot of people say, I don't like to jump around companies, and I get that, and I totally respect that. And I train my agents that I coach all over the country, don't jump around companies unless it's for a really good reason. Mm-hmm. And it's hard when you wake up every day going, I'm not at the right company. I'm not the best company I can be at. And that is a really, really bad thing. Your mindset shift, your body, your physical, mental, everything is terrible because you're not believing in what you're doing. And if you're an ethical person and a genuine person, that's not good at all. Right. So you have to change those things, and it's financially irresponsible not to change if it's for the better.
You're exactly right. Like I found myself, I was very loyal. The last company I was at, Berkshire Hathaway, 18 years, did not jump. I loved it. I loved where I was. But once I started doing my numbers and I'm looking at my family every night, working my butt off and saying, am I doing everything for my family? Am I, committing myself to education? Am I taking care of myself? And watching that money fly out, I knew that what I was doing was not the right thing for my family. And that's another conversation. But let's
Yeah.
talk about before EXP real quick, because there's all these different things. People get paper and pen because we're going to start flying. Mike, what do you think that you've seen over the past years, the most successful agents or people in general? What is the one thing that the most successful people have?
As far as business wise, or what do you, what where are you going with that? Like,
I feel like there's one intangible, and it's this.
oh, your mindset. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely. I'm, I got my kid in the background cleaning the pool. I want to strangle him right now.
that's great.
As
Hey,
I'm hearing all
work.
this clinking around and all that stuff. So, so the reality is mindset, right? That in order to be successful in anything you do, you have to have the right mindset. And any class, any seminar I do, any program I do, or anytime I bring on a new coaching client, the very first thing I have to do is check their mindset. And when I coach realtors, most realtors really have it together everywhere but their mindset. They're either having self-limited beliefs, or somebody in their family's putting them down and not giving them 100% support, or they're just exhausted mentally by doing things the wrong way. So once I can get them totally organized and their mindset fixed, sky's the limit at that point. And that's what I love doing with agents. That's what I love changing agents' lives with. So,
So
right.
perfect. So mindset is the most important thing in any facet in any industry. So now let's take a look at our own industry and the cash flow quadrant. And this is an idea that comes from the top-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, written by Robert Kiyosaki.
Right.
This is something that I had no idea about. When I was with Berkshire, I was on the left top. I was an employee and never thought, never questioned, never really challenged myself of what I could be. So, Mike, let's go over this. Please explain it to those watching.
All right. Well, the cash flow quadrant and Robert Kiyosaki in the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. Obviously, if you haven't read it, you need to read it. And then he came out with the book The Cash Flow Quadrant, which really breaks down how a person's life should be. Not even a real estate agent, but a person.
Right.
So when I first read the book, and I actually had a very similar scenario, a rich dad and a poor dad. I had a rich dad that taught me how to invest and how to make money. And then I had a poor dad that said, just grind it out every day, 9 to 5, go on 2-week vacations a year. And I knew in my heart of heart, my soul of souls, I wasn't that guy. I mean, I watched my dad be miserable. And then I had a couple rich dads, actually, my friends' parents, that I was like, oh man, that's blown away. So when I read the Cash Flow Quadrant and Rich Dad Poor Dad, I realized very fast that, look, at the time I read it, I was an employee, right? I was an optician. I was making eyeglasses. And I said, well, that sucks. I need to get to the S quadrant. So if you look at it really simple, just the top left is an employee.
Right.
An employee is, what most people in America strive to be. Go to college, get a good job, get good benefits and health insurance, and get a good 401k at your company. Well, that's all fine, but tax-wise, that's a terrible idea. Stability, that's a terrible idea. We all know somebody that's gotten fired, and you just went, how in the hell did that person get fired? Or how did they leave the industry? You're just like, wow. But the self-employed is what most real estate agents are, right?
Yes.
And we think we're business owners, but we're not. We're not at that top right quadrant yet. We're self-employed. We own a freaking job. And the way you can decipher that is if you wake up every day, go grind it out, and you're doing good, and you make decisions, you pay the bills,
Right.
and being self-employed, but people say, oh, I own Bjorkman and Associates. I own Team Bjorkman. I'm the CEO. Bull crap. You're a freaking employee of yourself, actually.
That's right.
So if you go away, and this is the test, if you go away for 6 months from your business, when you come back, is it better or worse than when you left? Has it grown? Okay. So every single real estate agent I know, if they go away for 6 months, their business dies, period. That's just the way it goes, because we are the provider or the main person at our company. and people rely on us and people trust us. And then there's a team that says, oh, well, I have a team, and when I go away in 6 months, it's going to be better. Well, we've time tested this and proven this, right? Remember, I built teams starting in 1996 and I've coached them since. So I've never seen a true team come out 6 months later better than when the team leader left. And I've seen this a lot of times. They've merged with other teams. They've sold their teams. The agents have been very sick in the hospital, and I've watched the teams dismantle. It doesn't work like that. I'm sure somewhere out there, there's an agent that's awesome, and they're that awesome that they could create a team that interviews every day, recruits every day, stays up on lead generation and technology and education. I'm sure one exists, but it's probably the 1%er, right?
Right.
So to truly leverage life, time, people, money, you need to be a business owner. And in the book, Cash Flow Quadrant, it talks a lot about a big business with 500 or more employees. That's really when you get to a spot where you can, be a public company. The 500 employees are managed by a really awesome executive team. So if you were to die or go away for a year, when you come back, if properly set up, that business will eventually do better when you're gone, whether you're there or not. And then the bottom right side quadrant is the investor. Investing is what I was taught early. Being a self-employed S quadrant person, I was able to invest my money into real estate, rental property, right? And one of the things that I found out was if you invest properly, let's just say you bought 20 rental properties, right? And they were all $100,000. They all rent out for $1,000 a month. And let's say you pay them all off in 10 years. You can retire. You might cash flow about 15 grand out of that 20 grand, but most people could live a pretty decent life off 15 grand a month, right? So you are a true investor, and you can invest in other ways. And we're going to talk about that in a second, but that's what I wanted to do. I said, I want to have 30 to 40 rental properties by the time I turn 50, and I want to retire and just live off that cash flow, use the houses as little ATM machines, which is cool. Nothing wrong with that. However, what I found out was, dude, it's hard to save up 20% down. It's hard to find people that'll carry paper. It's hard. So now here I am almost 50, and I read this book at 18, right? And I'm like, dude, I only have 12 rental properties. I had 12 during the recession, but we lost all those, right? We had to sell them. We had to, actually, I didn't have to, but when the market started picking up, when I bought them in the mid to late 90s, I was young, dumb, right? And they picked up in the market value. So I sold them all. I'm like, hey, I just made 50 grand off each one of these properties, and I got greedy. I wanted to put this bar in my backyard. I wanted to put the pool in. I wanted to do all this stuff, and I wanted the cash. So I sold these properties. I got out of control because that was the best market I've ever seen. I'm like, no big deal. I'll just buy more later. At least I have cash down. And people make mistakes, whatever. Then the recession hit. That did us in. So now it's like, coming out of recession is slow and slow. So here's a couple things that I learned as an investor. In 2007, I started a property management company. And not only am I a business owner now, but I don't have the 500 employees, but I still own a business. The actual company grew, and it was fine as I was making 7 to 10% on other people's money.
Right.
So that's a really big deal, right? So that's when I said, dude, property management's a really good business. Not only does it feed my real estate sales, but it gives me predictable monthly cash flow that I could save any way I want and buy more property. And it gave me leads on buying more rental property in my town. And then I got to be part of other investment groups, la da 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 da. So anyway, so that pulled me into that. So I want to talk about those quadrants now. And it's crucial that real estate agents somehow, some way get to the top right and the bottom right quadrant. We want to be a business owner and investor.
So this is the good stuff. This is why I wanted you to talk about this. Most of the people in our area in the East Coast, and I was one of them, was an employee. I didn't think I was. I had my own brand. I was running my own team. I have a marketing company, but I was still an employee because I was relegated to just selling houses. Now take it away.
So when I saw the EXP model, and my sponsor David Golden said, think of the cash flow cash flow quadrant, Mike. And I said, you're absolutely right. So as we are all financially aligned and we do create revenue share amongst each other, that is residual. And I don't want to call it passive income because sometimes we work pretty hard at it, but it is residual income, right? Even through the last 3 months of COVID, very little effects because we're very well invested all over the country with agents. Look at you, we had 100 of you in Philadelphia. I mean, you couldn't be any farther from California, right? But
Right.
you're all in our system, in my organization, right? So, and I laugh about this because one of the biggest things that I've ever had happen to me is when Dave and I took last December off and we cruised the Caribbean for almost a month, right? And Dave and I would talk about the cash flow quadrant when we were doing webinars from the beach in British Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico and St. Thomas, because our business was growing. We would log in from our phones and say, look, we're making more money last month or this month than we did last month and previous. And when we talk about 500 employees, it's a little different for us as real estate agents. But once you get to that 500 agent mark at EXP, that is the turning point where the law of momentum kicks in. So once I hit 500 agents, it took me a year and a half to get there. But now it's only going to take a few more months to get to 1,000. Like that's a
one
big
and
deal.
a half. Listen to this, people. Mike on the West Coast has agents everywhere. There are 500 agents in his team. And in the East Coast, and I didn't never share this with you, Mike. So people in our area, agents get irritated and they think it's a pyramid scheme. And I say, it is a pyramid, but guess what? Every company in our area is a pyramid. So are you going to give your money, your hard-earned money, to someone at the top that's just collecting money? That's it. Or do you want to work with a group of people that care about you, that want you to succeed, that share their biggest secrets, like you and David, Rosie, Brent Gove, everybody in our organization, our team? I've become a better agent in 2 years, not even 2 years, than the past 18 years of where I was. That's what I wanted to also talk about. And I'm sure the same has been for you and talking to the big, huge heavy hitters like Brent Gove.
Oh, it's been a definite game changer. But now I could truly say I'm a business owner, right? Even when I own my own brokerage, it took 5 years to get to the point where I could barely start being profitable enough to hire a manager or somebody like that. So the interesting thing at EXP is we do own our business and we can't stop it. Once the law of momentum kicks in, we can't stop it. Even if I wanted to shut it all down and say, I don't want to make thousands and thousands of dollars a month, I can't stop it, right? So that's a true business owner. I can go away. I could retire today and it's just going to grow and grow and grow. Now, people say, well, what if something happens to the company? Well, once you're traded on NASDAQ and you have a very impressive executive crew running the company and making good decisions with our board of directors and the agent council that makes all the decisions, the company's not going to go anywhere unless the industry crashes. But you could work at Google, you could work at UPS, you could work at, who cares where you work? Anything like that could happen to a company. So our parents, our forefathers, and our grandparents, they all relied on Coca-Cola, GMC, all these big Fortune 500 companies, which I believe we're going to be in the next year or so. But the fact of the matter is I'm a true business owner and I'm not a self-employed real estate agent anymore. That's a damn good feeling, right? Like I am financially free today. I could retire today and watch my business grow and grow and live a very comfortable life. And it's sad because I was able to create that in almost 2 years.
18 months. You weren't even, Mike, you were like 18 months.
Right. And now real estate agents don't understand it. They're like, they get so caught up in the grind. And there's this one person in particular that I just love. She lives in Florida and she works at Remax and she's a hustler and she's a good girl. And I've been trying to bring her to EXP because she fits in with our crew. Right. So I'm like, listen, I don't want to say her name, but she keeps grinding out. She goes, well, I want to hit 50 transactions this year. I'm like, no, don't. I'm going to throw so much money away by working at that company. But I just increased 5 transactions. Well, what happened was you gave that company, the other broker, that money, and you sold the last 5 houses for no reason.
Right.
And people get on this real estate treadmill and they can't figure it out. And I'm the first guy to admit it. 26 years it took me to figure it out. So
Yes.
that's why I love coaching, and I help other agents bypass all the BS that I had to go through. So let's continue, right? So as a business owner, now I'm like, wow, I'm growing it. But look at the bottom right quadrant. I'm also an investor.
Right.
And we get stock gifts for doing things we do normally as an agent.
Right.
Sell homes, recruit agents, bring our friends to the company, and cap out. Like if you're a Keller Williams, you know what cap means, or if you're at another company with cap. We get
Right.
stock rewards for that. And it's not a lot, but it's a hell of a lot more than we get there.
Right.
We also have an agent equity program, which we're allowed to buy stock at a 10% discount with up to 5% of our commissions. And people say, well, I don't want to spend 5% of my commission to do that. And I say, really? Well, if I can save you almost 100% in your cap and which you pay the company, and you have all this money left over that you normally wouldn't have, why wouldn't you invest it? And I did not come to this company. I swear to God, Stacie,
Right.
when I came to this company, I said, I don't care about stock. I didn't believe in stock. I've never really been a stock guy. I've lost my ass in stocks my whole life every time I get a tip. And this time's been very different. Once a couple months went by, I go, wow, there's 10 grand sitting in that account that I've never had in a stock account before. And I saw the stock doing a little improvement. I'm like, this is pretty interesting. And then I started talking to some of the people that have been around a lot longer than me, and they have hundreds of thousands of dollars in stock. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to take this a little more seriously. And when my financial planner said, look, dummy, you're making 10% day one on your money.
Right.
Well, do that. It took me years and years to build a property management company to make 10% on the money, right? So now it's starting to make sense. And now as we've going through this and our company is taking off through the ceiling, we're over 30,000 agents. Our stock, and I don't know if a lot of people have noticed, our stock doubled in the last couple of weeks. So the majority
This is what it is. This is what it is right now, by the way. $16.52.
Right. So the majority of my company I bought, my stock I bought under $8, right? So it jumps to, was at 17 something this morning. So it doubled in the last couple of weeks. So I'll just say what it is. In less than 2 years, I had a couple hundred grand in stock. And in 1.5 weeks, it doubled. I went from 200 grand in the bank to 400 grand in the bank. Now I get tears in my eyes because I've never saved that kind of cash in my life before, ever. And it's sitting there, and I'm going to be able to leave a damn legacy for my children. I'm going to be able to retire. I'm going to be able to, I have a safety net. No other real estate company has ever allowed me to do that. Right. So
Right.
Being on the right side of that quadrant as a business owner and an investor, and all I did was make a logical, financially responsible decision to move my license from one company to another. And now I'm overnight, practically in less than 2 years, a multi-freaking millionaire from making the right decision. People say, holy crap, your life looks so fun. Well, yeah, we're cash flowing tons of cash. And all we're doing is helping people make the same good decision.
Right.
So now I'm on the right side of the quadrant with the richest people in the country, living the best life I can in less than 2 years because I worked a little bit at it, right? It wasn't that big of a deal. I didn't stop selling houses. I didn't stop managing property. I didn't stop working 4 days a week. I just shifted my focus a little bit to helping agents make good decisions. And now look, it's unbelievable. And the people that have been in our company a year or two longer than me, they make double what I make, and so on and so forth. And we should probably, I recommend that everybody watching this or whatever at some point reads that book, The Cash Flow Quadrant, because it goes way deeper, and you'll truly understand how it's almost stealing. I feel like guilty sometimes how easy it is.
Don't feel guilty.
I'm doing it at 50 years old. I mean, I wish to God I would have joined this company in 2009.
And that's why, this is exactly why we're talking about that, Mike, is you've been in the game for so long. I've been in it for 18 years. Now, is everybody going to be like a Mike Bjorkman? No, they're not. But everybody starts at the same level. We're all on equal ground. We all start at the same split. We're all paying the same fees. The way that I look at it is, and I'll share with everybody right now. So where I am, I have over 50,000 in stock that I can cash out today. It doesn't have to be vested. That's I've earned other stock. But today I can cash out if I want it for my family to, buy a second property, $50,000. And that was acquired in 18 months of me purchasing stock at a discount. So when sometimes people will say, well, you can't cash that out. You can cash it out. Here's the other thing I'd like to share with people in the area. So Mike Bjorkman had grown his agents in the East Coast in Pennsylvania. He had over 500 agents. His revenue share compared to profit share at KW is more money than a KW franchise owner who owns an office in Exton and one in Westchester. And he accomplished this in 18 months. So what took someone, a KW owner in our area, Mike, 18 years to build, Mike Bjorkman was able to do the same exact thing in 18 months, which is off the hook. That is one of the differences between us two.
Yeah,
and not
you
everybody's
can't even
like
compare
that.
profit share and revenue share. It's not even on the same planet. It's
Right.
not, you're not comparing apples and oranges, right? I mean, I love KW. I never thought I'd leave. My biggest
It is a great company. KW is a great company.
Ever in 5 years was $1,200 on revenue or profit share. My second month at EXP was $3,000. Right. And it's only exploded since then, right? So, you know what I want to talk about? You said something really interesting. We all have the same opportunity. And I don't want people to say, oh, well, I don't have what it takes, or I don't talk like you, or I don't have the experience or the network. It doesn't matter. What if you were only making $5,000 a month or $10,000 a month?
Right.
Would $3,000 a month change your life? I can show you in 10 minutes how within 6 months you could be making $3,000 a month growing for the rest of your life. Can we go up to that slide that has a timeline on it of EXP? I want to point something.
Yes. So
I really want to point
do
something
that.
The reality is people say, first of all, they say it's an MLM or a pyramid scheme. And I laugh. Right. I did too. I used those words against EXP when I owned my brokerage. I want you guys to all know something. EXP is not an MLM. Otherwise, we would have to be registered with the SEC, with NASDAQ as an MLM. We're not. We all have the same opportunity. We are network marketing, and so are everything else. Look at Yelp, look at Google reviews, Facebook reviews. All it is reviews, people helping people. But it's not a fad or a trend. EXP is here to stay. And I want to show some numbers of this slide that is my favorite slide, because it's not a new company. People say, oh, I'm going to wait around and see what happens.
Right.
Well, wait for what? The company freaking 11 years old. Like, look at Glenn Sanford, our founder, was able to accomplish. Within 1 year, opens in 11 states. Who does that? It took me 5 years to open 4 offices. Steven Swanepoel, which is a really good friend, he is the ultimate predictor of real estate trends for the last 30 years. He said in 2011, EXP is going to take over the world. He's the smartest guy on the planet. And then we become a publicly traded company in 2013, 4 years into this. So anytime a disruptor comes in, it takes a little while to grab, right? It takes a little while for people to go, well, okay. And then it takes over everything. So you can see this timeline and how it's happening. Then in 2015, we launched our agent equity program, an Icon Agent Award, and we can get into that. It's a whole nother game, but that's another conversation. And then we hit 10,000 agents, and then holy crap, 2018, we're uploaded to NASDAQ. Tell me what company has ever done that in the history of real estate. So if you're watching this or hearing this thinking we're new, you just want to kind of look and see what's going to happen, see if we're going to stick around. Look, right. Is your company traded on NASDAQ? Really? Did your stock double in the last couple of weeks? This is serious. And the reason I'm passionate about this is because I want people to live a good life like me. Yes. I just want everybody to have what we have. And until somebody opens their mouth and tells somebody about it, they're just guessing. They're listening to bad rumors. They don't get it, and it's not fair. The top teams, the top agents, either at our company or coming to our company. These are the smartest people on smartest people on the planet. You go to one of our conventions, it's like going to the Grammys. You look around and go, oh my God, look who's here. Look who's there. Look who's there. We have the #1 agent from every single company ever that has joined our company. Like, it's just a matter of fact. Like, these people are
and we're just starting. So Mike, EXP started in California. In Pennsylvania, there's now over 700 agents. People, you have so much opportunity in this area. It's not even funny. And I can help you. Mike can talk to you one-on-one as well. Let's look at some other slides real quick.
Yep, let's go on. So look at that growth. That's not a company that's going to not stick around, right? We hit 30,000 agents, and really we didn't start growing rapidly, and we hired some massive teams and influencers at our company in 2016. You can kind of see that spike. So once we got all the right people involved, all the right people believing, it was just a matter of time. We're only at 30,000 agents. KW was at 150,000 at one point. We've opened in Australia, the UK, we're all over Canada, and we're growing at 1,000 agents a week, even during COVID, like 1,000 agents a week. So there's not 1,000 stupid people, a week joining our company. These are smart people that want to take advantage, and they want that cash flow quadrant part of their life. They want to be on the business owner quadrant. They want to be on the investor side. And us realtors have been beat down our whole lives by these broker owners that just say, yeah, build my beach house, build my beach house. And I want to build my own beach house. So let's move on and see what other slides you got here.
Here's our core values. Awesome.
Yeah, core values to me is, a lot of people skip this slide, and I'm a company guy, so this crap means a lot to me, right? Community, not only community as in how we treat each other, but how we do treat our world as far as being sustainable, scalable, and we're fun as hell. Like our conventions are all hugs, not handshakes.
Ours are awesome. I will say, off the charts. It is fun. It's awesome. I'm bringing my kids next time.
Absolutely. Please don't. And agile, agile is insane. Like we went through COVID, boop, 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 500 employees all working at home before COVID hit. We didn't skip a beat. Innovative, you can say we're innovative, right? We own Virbela as part of our EXPI family of companies, which is helping driving our stock tremendously. We're very innovative. Integrity and service is a no-brainer. Sustainability and scalability. There's not a more profitable model on the planet. We've proven it, right? We don't have any regional owners. We don't have any franchise owners. All the money when you sell a home and give commission goes to these people, right? These people, now we're keeping it all within the company so we can use that. It's called compensation for contribution. The harder you work, the more money you make, and it makes sense. That's how it should be. Collaboration, look at you and I on this. We don't even need to talk about collaboration.
Right.
We have teams that help each other through anything. And transparency, we have nothing to hide. So, all right, let's go to the next slide. But yeah, the core values to me is really important.
This I want to go over. So back in the day, everyone knows who Blockbuster is. They were on every corner. And in our area, we also had West Coast Video, which was extremely popular. And we all know what happened to both of them. Netflix took over. Ironically, Netflix approached Blockbuster and said, hey, we'd like to be a part of your company. We're just this little scale. We mail movies to homes. And Blockbuster said no. And in less than 4 years, Blockbuster gone, folded. Circuit City, that's another one. There's still an empty Circuit City in Exton, Pennsylvania. That
in every town there is.
Yeah, it's still, that space is still empty. And then also things like Airbnb and Expedia. These companies have started when we started. And now look at these companies. So when someone says you haven't been around long enough, I say, take a look at Netflix. Let me know what you think. And Expedia, things like that. Or Peloton. How about that? So this is just to show you the kind of company that we are. We are live stream. Our training is live stream. Everything we upload to the cloud. We have offices, but we don't need them. I have one in Westchester. This is what I'm sitting in right now. I love it, frankly, to get away from the kids. Because of the quarantine, I can work in here and I love it. So let's take a look at another slide. And this is nice. And this is the difference. This is a huge game changer now with the quarantine and the pandemic. All the overhead of the huge offices in our area that have 3,000 square feet, or they're charging desk fees, all this other stuff, we have fixed every mistake. And let's talk about that for 30 seconds, Mike, that other brokerages have. How has EXP changed it?
Well, that's my favorite thing to say. Everything that's ever been broken in real estate, we fix. And I'll start out by the cloud campus environment. Being able to work in the cloud is freaking amazing, right? It's the most efficient, effective, fastest, makes more sense than anywhere else. Just like if you can imagine back in the day, you'd have to get out of your house and drive to your cable company to tell them your cable box isn't right. Now you can go online and order a new cable box. And at the cloud environment, we don't realize, but we use a cloud-based environment every single day with almost everything we do in life. Training is so key. And with being a global company, we have the top agents that are very collaborative, all working for the same goal. Have the best training in the world 5 to 7 to 10 classes a day. Now, these are trained by agents that have been vetted, proven their mastery in their field they're teaching in. Like I said to people, it took me months to get approved to train in the world. I'm like, I'm one of the best coaches on the planet. Like, I felt like I should just be let in, but no, they vetted me. They had people interview me. I had to practice presentations, all kinds of stuff.
And people, if you don't know, real quick, Mike, I apologize. Mike was a trainer and a teacher at Club Wealth, which is one of the best, if not the best, coaching companies that you can go with. Mike coached those coaches. And
I'm a contributor to the company, and I've been around since the very beginning. I'll be teaching in the technology seminar we have coming in the next couple of weeks. So you can reach out to us. We'll give you information on that. So yeah, I've trained agents for a long time. So I can comfortably say these agents are badasses that are training our classes. And it's sad because it takes agents years and years and years to get good at selling homes. With our tools, technology, and training, I could take an average agent and turn them into a rock star selling 50 to 100 homes in 90 days if they do what I say. And we've time proven that already too. The real-time support, it's just nice to go in and be able to talk to your broker team at any time, basically in your pajamas if you want to. And it doesn't matter where you at. Like, people say, Mike, you travel a lot. And I say, yeah, I know. Why not? As long as my battery doesn't die and I have stable internet, I can do anything I want from any country in the world. So I do it. Right? I don't like sitting around my house. I like to roll. I like to see stuff. I like to have a good time, and I like to make money doing it. So with this company, I'm allowed to do that. And everybody says, oh, I can do that from anywhere too in the world. No, you can't. It's different. Until you've been in the world, been in our offices, been in our organization, and really understand and see how it works, you just can't believe it. I remember the first time I went in the world, it's kind of weird, but all of a sudden I was like, whoa, this is how to sell homes. This is how we should be supported as realtors. So we don't need to spend all day on this slide, but yeah, I mean, what we have, we've fixed. Of course, we have no desk fees. Everything's paperless, of course. We could even move on to the next one. We talked about the live training.
Let's take a look at this split and the or the revenue share. Either one. Oh, this is nice too. Forgot about that.
A lot of agents say, okay, you keep talking about stock, Mike. Tell me how we're going to earn stock. All right. So when you come to the company, you sell your first home. They say, thank you. Welcome to the company. Give you stock. Once you cap, which is only $16,000, you guys, we don't have huge brick and mortar and all this stuff overhead. We have millions and millions available. So we don't have this compensation plan that's going to make you go broke. 16 grand, and we can show you how to get it back too, right? So when you cap, they give you more. They say, hey, you're an awesome agent. You're a good agent. You sell 4 or 5 homes a year. We love you. Thank you for supporting the company. Here you go. When I sponsor an agent, say if I sponsored Stacie, I didn't, but if I did, when Stacie,
I wish you did.
Yeah,
I wish I met you.
When Stacie sold her first house, I would get more stock as a thank you. Thank you for helping growing our company. Because what you guys got to understand is we're growing this company organically through agents. We don't hire recruiters at $100,000 a year and give them a company car and benefits and a golf club membership. Agents who know how they're comfortable and love their company, they're the ones that attract agents to the company. So here's the Icon Award, which is industry changing, mind blowing, that people don't even understand. When you cap out at our company plus sell 20 more homes, you're considered what's an Icon agent. So selling 25 homes isn't that big of a deal. Many agents do it. You have the ability to get all your cap back in stock. Now, remember, I just told you our stock doubled in the last couple of weeks. So you would have got your $16,000 back in stock, and then that would have doubled. So instead of paying a cap of 16 grand, you would have earned 16 grand for being at our company. It's a no-brainer. It's so crazy. It's not even funny.
So once you become, like, real quick, an Icon agent, you get 100%. You get all of your commission. So Remaxes, all those companies out there where you cap, you're getting your money back. You can't get that anywhere. Doesn't exist.
Yeah, it's an industry game-changing program that actually really, really put us on the map. And it works out so well, and it attracts the better agents, right? Our agents, they're not, I can't say we don't have a lot of beginner agents, because we do, but it really attracts the cream of the crop of the agents that really appreciate and understand how valuable this is. In the agent equity program, it's just like a 401k at a company where they kind of match, right? But we enroll in it, and it's 5% of our commission, which we don't even feel after coming to this company because we're used to our broker, taking most of our commissions
Right.
at our old companies. So now we get it at a 10% discount. And like I told you earlier in this call, my stockbroker, financial planner said, dude, you're making 10% on your money day one. You better do that. So I was like, okay. So we don't need to get into that story again, but
all I would like to interject real quick is there's a lot, and I'm sure it's in California, the 6% franchise fee. All these little things add up. So we don't have the 6% franchise fee. So sign up for the 5% stock at a 10% discount. Now your money's working for you. We have no transaction fees. So in our area, there's $350. It's a made up fee, by the way, $350 to $400 to $500 charged to your client at settlement. We don't offer that. We don't have the desk fees. But these things, the people just lull themselves into accepting for the fact of accepting it because they're comfortable. We don't have that stuff. So you have all these little lines that are adding up, and you're making more money than you ever would have doing the same exact thing. Let's look at this is what I want to go over just for 1 to 2 minutes. People, this is a game changer. You're making people's lives better. Literally, you're making agents' lives better. I don't look at it as I'm bothering someone or I'm recruiting someone. I'm just saying to them, look at this. You tell me where I'm wrong. Show me where I'm wrong, and I'll leave you alone. Like, maybe this isn't for you and it's not for everybody, but just by telling people about the company, showing them how to make more money, you can do it like Kevin Bacon, only it's the 7 levels of Kevin Bacon. And here's what it is.
Just when I thought I heard everything.
There you go.
No, you're absolutely right. And revenue share is not what our company's all about. It's a wonderful bonus. We are a revenue.
On the side.
We are a real estate company first. I happen to enjoy revenue share. I figured out with the calculator in less than 5 minutes that net, it's better for me to recruit agents and help support my team than it is to sell homes. It's something that grows. It is passive and residual, not passive. I should take that back because I do work hard sometimes. I give it a real good shot for an hour, like right now, and then I take the rest of the day off. But the reality is it is a way to share revenue with people that deserve it. So as I attract agents, or you as attract agents, we're going to support, collaborate, train, and hold them up to whatever they're asking for, right? So since we are organically creating this company through agents and not hiring recruiters, there's a lot of money that comes out of your chunk of commission. Like, I hate that because our chunks of commission, when you give your company 5% or 10%, whatever your split is, you got to know where that money's going. It's going to pay for the recruiter that's hiring freaking competition. It's paying for that big brick and mortar office that nobody goes to. All that money's wasted, and we don't have that. So we're able to allocate it properly where it should go to the agents because we deserve it, right? So if I hire you, Stacie, and you start selling homes, and it's not once you cap, it's as soon as you start selling homes, I'm going to get 3.5% of your gross commission through the company, not out of your commission. It's not like a referral fee that comes out of your checks, through the company dollar. And as a thank you, we'll get that much. So it's up to $2,800. So you're on the East Coast, I hire you, I help you, get you involved with the company. I'm going to make up to $2,800 a year, as long as you're at the company every year. Right. The most beautiful part of that is Glenn Stanford, like genius, right? When he put this plan together, I was like blown away because I looked at this, and naturally you would automatically assume, well, level 2, you'd get less, but look at this, you get more, 3.8% of the gross commission of the agent below Stacie. So Stacie helps bring in Frank,
Lisa, Tony,
right, all the people you have, right? And I'm still appreciating a piece of their commissions up to 3.5%. So that equates to $3,200 off of Frank's, and so on and so forth. But what I want to point out is these numbers add up ridiculous. We have calculators. I could show you. Stacie could show you. This money is mind blowing, the way it adds up. But I like to point out something very simple. So let's put this on a very simple level. Let's say you attract, maybe it takes you 2 years, who cares, to attract 6 agents to the company, right? That's only 6. That's 1 every other month. And people are going to be attracted naturally when they see how happy and successful you are. But here's the thing. When you have 6 agents, the revenue share, if you add that up, is 16,000 or whatever, and it takes care of your cap. Now you don't even have a cap at our company anymore. Zero. You're paying the company $0 on a commission split. That's mind blowing. Let's take it one step further. Let's say all 6 of those agents brought one person to the company. Now we know in reality, they're going to bring a lot more, right? It's just natural because the company's awesome and it sells itself. But let's say each agent just brings one. That adds up to $36,000 a year. That's $3,000 a month. Now, remember earlier I said, would $3,000 a month change your life? Right. Well, it does, right? Because that's most people's house payment. That's most people's college tuition for their kids. Or what if, and I promise you and show you how I could take $3,000 and buy leads to make you double, triple, quadruple your business. Most people don't think about that. I said, what if you only made $1,000 in revenue share and reinvested that in Facebook ads, pay-per-click? Right. Oh my God, I could make you so much money. So not only are you not paying the company anymore, but now the company revenue, the revenue you're getting from the company is buying your leads. So right. If you were to only double your business and not put any money in your pocket from revenue share, would that work? Right. So that's why I say it's financially irresponsible to not be at our company, because there's so much opportunity with stock, with revenue share, with the tools, technology. We haven't even got into.
We didn't even talk about lead gen. That's another. It's insane. You cannot fail in this company. You can't. And if you do, you're not doing your job. You're not committing yourself. If you do the basics, there is no way that you can fail. Mike, I do want to wrap this up a little bit. What would you say is your favorite? Like, I didn't join because of the stock. I didn't join because of the revenue share. That stuff is nice. Honestly, I joined because of people like you, because I knew that you could change my life as an agent, make me better, show me systems, and you have. So why did you join EXP?
Well, the team that I am on, the organization that I am on, is the most fun, most uplifting, best people that I could ever dream to be partners with. And I'm a people person. I need a lot of attention and love.
You are. You're very nice.
Get-togethers and things like that. So the people was the reason I joined it in the first place. The revenue share was a very close second, obviously, because I'm looking to build a business. Remember, this whole thing was about the cash flow quadrant. I am now a true business owner with over 500 people in my organization. I am a true investor and part owner of a globally traded company. Like, yes. You don't just get that at KW or Remax or Cold Banker. You're just thumb is down. Somebody's holding you down from growing. They're just saying, sell houses. Every little chunk will help pay for the lights. Every little chunk will help pay for the recruiter so I can hire more competition for you. Let me just take a little more of your chunk. That way I can have my house on the lake or the beach. No, we're doing this crap for ourselves now. That's a big difference. And we have the most amazing support. Like, support for me is another big deal. 500 full-time employees at my beck and call, and I could do it right now here in my computer. Like, that's a big deal too. And just helping other people. Like, I coach agents because I want to help them bypass all the crap I've been. So when I show this to agents, it's a game changer. Like, I'm looking on this live at some of our friends on here, and I look where they were 6 months ago, and I look where they're now, and I'm just like, I'm so proud. And I know I had something to do with that. And it might not have been, if I wasn't involved in their life, they probably wouldn't be making a few grand extra a month, or their business wouldn't have doubled, or, they wouldn't have had a better family life now. So it's just crazy how we can change lives. And I'm getting attacked.
And it's true. There is no Kool-Aid to be drank when you have facts in front of you and when you have actual numbers, and you can show people, hey, here's what I'm doing, and I'll help you. And it's not about getting one over on someone or convincing someone. Like, this is the real deal. And the attraction is not recruiting, because when people see what you're doing, they want to be a part of it. And I just wanted to thank you, because you have changed. You've saved me so much time in 18 months from little things like apps using like Marco Polo and talking to people and that way, having a V card.
I will never forget that.
but it all comes down to this, which is mindset, people. And are you an employee and you're thinking to yourself, man, I hate paying $50,000 a year, which is what I was doing once I did my math. Probably closer to 60,000 for how many years. and I'm looking at my family struggling, and the answer was always sell more homes, work harder. And now it's like, for selling the same amount of homes, why can't I make money on the side doing the same exact thing? So the mindset, that's what I want to challenge everybody watching this video. Are you an employee, or are you truly a business person, an entrepreneur? Are your assets working for you? I know they're working for you, Mike.
Yep.
Mine, it's starting to kick in now. I'm a little bit slower, and that's okay.
And if you're just catching this now, go back and watch, because we did talk about the cash flow quadrant, which is a really, really big deal. And you know, we should probably talk real quick before we wrap it up. You guys, we're going to Dallas, Texas to see our company. It's not our company's convention, but we're all having a get together. We've hired Tony Robbins to come for the day and speak. It's a 3-day leadership summit that we're having. And if you guys really want to taste and be more motivated than you've ever been in your life, I promise you, this is a game-changing event. August 26th, I think we're going, and until the 30th. It's going to be a freaking game changer. And if you even come take a peek at that, you'll see what I'm talking about. Your life will dramatically change in the course of 3 days, and everybody's invited. So reach out to Stacie or I, and we can get you the information on that too.
And I'm happy to buy a ticket. If anyone would like to see Tony Robbins, please reach out to me, because I will buy you a ticket. You can see him and see what we're really about, and no pressure, no commitment, no nothing. I'm so confident in this model and this platform. I've only been with it for 18 years, not 18 months. I wish I was with it. Oh my God, from the beginning, from 09, but that's okay. We're here now, right, Mike?
We're getting there.
All right, last 3 questions. What's your favorite podcast, book, and phone app for agents?
Oh, well, that's kind of silly. My podcast, right?
Oh, that's right.
You know what's funny? We're talking about the cash flow quadrant, and I've really gotten addicted to Robert Kiyosaki's podcast lately. It's called Rich Dad Radio. So right now, he's like me. He's very diverse with his teaching. He'll talk about health insurance one day, stocks one day, real estate one day, health one day. So I like it, and he's funny as hell. It's not a boring podcast. So I'd say radio. Behind mine, realestatemarketingshow.com. After mine, realestatemarketingshow.com is mine. Okay. And that's free coaching, you guys. All of our coaching every Monday morning. We train live at 10 o'clock, and that's all on there. So you have a free coaching course of the last 16 weeks. It'll completely transform your business if you want to get on some of that. All right, what's my favorite book? Is that what you said after podcast?
Yes.
I think my 2 favorite books right now, because I can't pick one, is Fanatical Prospecting by Jeb Blunt. That'll change a real estate agent's career overnight. And Building an Empire. It'll teach you how to do network marketing like there's no tomorrow. Just it's a blueprint for our business. It's our Bible of our business, and it'll help any real estate agent learn how to truly network properly. So I think those are my 2 favorite books right now that come to the top of my head without having to think about it, but I love books. So awesome. And then what was the 3rd one?
That you nailed it. Well, I said, phone app.
Probably still my Marco Polo app, because it's just so easy and convenient. I don't, what app am I always on? I'm always on Facebook, Zoom, Marco Polo,
Instagram.
I'm now starting to watch my Ameritrade account a lot more. That's growing.
It's addicting, isn't it?
Yeah, I never looked at stock, and now I look at it every day. My Facebook Workplace app is huge. There's 30,000 agents, EXP agents collaborating in Workplace, and we never even talk about that. We have a place at our company. You have 30,000 agents all trying to help each other. I'm always in that app. I spend a lot of time in that app all day, every day.
It is really cool. Yeah. There's a networking group. There's an international group.
Hundreds of groups. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
All the classes that we do for 50 hours a week, that's up there. If you missed it, you can see it. You can also talk to your broker. That's another lifeline that you do not have anywhere else.
Messenger app, right? That's the other.
Yeah. So I just want to thank you for your time always, Mike. I always learn a little bit more. I get a little bit better every time I spend time with you. So I thank you.
I'm proud of you. You've come so far since I met you.
Thank you. Yes. It's another story. But anyway, thank you. And people, challenge yourselves. Think about your family. Where is your money going? We're happy to talk to you at any time and just show you the model. It only helps. Knowledge helps. So some people, I used to be like this for 18 years, la, 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 la. I didn't do that. I did not do that anymore. I was open-minded. I talked to other brokerages, and this by far is the best for me. And that's it. So thank you.
Okay, honey, have a beautiful day. Thank you for inviting me.
Anytime. Bye.